It's race number 3 of the weekend for the Ginetta GT Academy here at Donington Park, their final event of the season. And remarkably, we're only halfway through the Ginetta GT Academy races this weekend. We still remember have the 4th race to come later on today, the race that was cancelled at Brands Hatch last time out. So this should have been the final race of the season. As it is, we've got 2 more races to settle both our GTA and rookie class championships. It is remarkably close in the GTA category, but James Nicholas, our championship leader now by 5 points, has his first opportunity of the weekend in this race to seal the championship. If he wins this race, then the championship could go his way going into the final race later on because of the drop score situation. His current 2 lowest drops are 22 points and 26 points for James Nicholas. So if he were to win this race and then not take part in the final race, he would at least be guaranteed to take home the 22 points that he would currently be dropping. So we'll wait and see. If he wins this race, he can win the title. Anything else, and it will go to the 4th race of the weekend. And perhaps the deciding factor in that could be Charlie Digby, who was a front runner in the previous race and did a good job to lead much of it until James Nicholas managed to find a way past him on the final lap, got the lead away, and that also invited Jamie Caudle through to 2nd place. So it was an interesting one. It definitely was a gain for Nicholas to get the win, but the fact that it invited Caudle through into 2nd was maybe not part of the plan. Let's take a look, shall we, then, at how they are going to line up for this 3rd race of the weekend. It is the results of that earlier race that set the grid for this one, so that's why it was so important that Caudle got into 2nd place. It means he starts on the front row now alongside his title rival Nicholas. Sam Shrimpton, who is on the cusp of winning the rookie championship, starts 3rd alongside Charlie Digby. Shiv Sapra, the only man now I think that can beat Sam Shrimpton to the rookie championship, starts 5th alongside Joe Edge on row 3. 4th row for Alex Dayton and Julian Wantling. They are a couple of drivers for whom this will be their final race of the weekend. I'll get into that in a moment. Robin Grimwood and Peter Thompson are next on row 5. Row 6 then for Lucy Hodgson and Phil McGarty. And on the 7th row, Ben Cook and Alan Wright, who had a spin, you might remember, in the race earlier on today. Ash Young and Damien Duffy are together on row 8. Row 9, Chris Babington and Gilbert Verdian. And hopefully we have Faye Goff and Lexi Belk together on the back row of the grid. I say hopefully because they tangle, remember, in the race earlier on this morning when Faye Goff spun and Lexi Belk unfortunately wasn't able to avoid her stricken car at the Melbourne hairpin. So I mentioned that this will be the final race of the weekend for a handful of them. Those drivers are Joe Edge, Alex Deaton, Julian Wantling, Gilbert Verdian, Faye Goff, and there was one other, Ash Young, who will not contest the 4th race later on today. The reason for that is that they did not enter the Brands Hatch event. Because that 4th race is a carryover from Brands Hatch, only the drivers who were originally intended to be in that race will be allowed to take part in the 4th one, and the grid will be based upon how they were originally going to line up on the grid at Brands Hatch 2. So we will be missing a few drivers. Obviously all of the title contenders though will be in that race, but they'll have slightly fewer cars with which to do battle. So James Nicholas then looking for a race win. Sam Shrimpton, if he finishes ahead of Shiv Sapra in this race, will also seal the rookie championship. That's the other battle we need to watch out for. Cars 24 and 8 that start right in front of each other on the 2nd and 3rd rows respectively. So 2 battles to watch in one and 20 minutes to potentially settle both championship battles. Let's see what happens then. James Nicholas from pole position with 1 goal in mind, and that is keeping Jamie Caudle behind him. It's a pretty equal start though. Caudle will have at least some sort of overlap, I think, on the outside line as they head for Redgate Corner, and he's late on the brakes, can't go around the outside, but does manage to slot in line behind Nicholas. Oh, Sapra, Shiv Sapra sideways, and there's contact, and he surely is out, and that will be it then. That will be it for the rookie championship. Shiv Sapra, one of 4 or 5 cars off at the first corner. We've got Alan Wright, the number 4 is Damien Duffy. There was another, I think, stuck in the gravel trap. That almost certainly now is going to require the use of the safety car, but that, I believe, will have decided the rookie championship in the favour of Sam Shrimpton. I didn't see at first glance what triggered all of that, but Shiv Sapra was one of the first cars sideways, and the safety car is indeed now called just as Alex Deaton nipped up the inside of Sam Shrimpton to 3rd. That was before the safety car graphic appeared on our screen. Whether or not it was actually before the safety car flags were, safety car boards were out, I don't know, but it was a close call that, and only race control ultimately will have the answer. So there is Deaton, he's into third, but as to the timing of that move, we'll have to maybe do a bit of digging. Joe Edge was the other one that I saw stuck in the gravel. Now, yes, there are 3 of them I can see out of the window still stuck there, and as the camera comes back, you might see a few more of the cars. Alan Wright is one of them, and I think it is Damien Duffy's number 4 machine, the other that needs to be recovered. There they are, Alan Wright's orange and white number 77 car, and Damien Duffy was the one that came piling in. Now, what you don't see there is car number 8. So Shiv Sapra has continued. Now, how much damage has been done to that car, I don't know. It got a pretty hefty whack from Damien Duffy's number 4 machine, but whether or not it is still raceable, we'll have to wait and see. He is, I believe, just heading down into the Melbourne hairpin at the moment, Shiv Sapra. There's Chris Babington in the 55 machine. But where is Sapra? Is he still going? And how badly damaged is the back of that number 8 car? It's still a tall order for him to beat Sam Shrimpton in this race, which is what he must do to keep his title hopes alive. There is Shiv Sapra. Oh, there's a lot of damage, isn't there? A lot of damage to the back of the car. Now, he's not pitting, although I suspect he is shedding bits of his car. That looks suspiciously like the red and black bodywork that normally should be attached to that number 8 car. Huge amount of damage done to the back of Shiv Sapra's car, and I fear that even if he can continue, that car isn't going to go that quickly. Right, keep an eye on the red and black number 8 car. He's in the middle of all of this somewhere. What happens? Alex Deaton is the 27 car peeking to the inside, and oh, I'm not actually convinced there was contact there. Sapra just got sideways, tagged Joe Edge. Alan Wright avoided him, but Damien Duffy didn't. I just can't quite see whether there was a tap from Alex Deaton. If there was, that is a little awkward because they are teammates, he and Shiv Sapra. But not really sure whether it was contact or whether he just got a bit of a slide on. There is the car then undressing itself further around the lap as rear bodywork goes flailing off. And so it was from the number 8 car, that little souvenir that the marshal came and picked up. So, but that's really unfortunate then for Shiv Sapra. In a way, it matters little whether there was contact or not. The point is the car is damaged. It is still going, though, so he's still in the race. He just has to somehow now claw his way up into the top 5 and find a way of getting past Sam Shrimpton in order to take that championship battle down to the final race. So James Nicholas then leads the way. And the first thing he needs to do is win this race, and we'll then see what Jamie Caudle can do and whether or not that's going to be enough for Jamie to stay in contention himself. There is Sapra. So as it stands, Sam Shrimpton would be on 407 points, Shiv Sapra 352. Shrimpton's drops, now neither of them have very good drops actually. You drop your 4 lowest scores across the season in the GT Academy, and both of them are dropping lots of non-finishes, 3 non-finishes for Sapra and a 1-pointer, and then Shrimpton's dropping 2 non-finishes and then 2 1-point finishes. So in a way they were all non-finishes actually. I think they were bonus points for fastest laps and pole positions and the like. So in essence they both used up their drop score. Shrimpton's dropping 2 points, Sapra's dropping 1. So the long and winding route I'm taking here to making a point is that even if then Shrimpton were to non-finish the 4th race and Sapra were to win it, it wouldn't be enough for Shiv to overcome the deficit. So yeah, there goes Damien Duffy's car. And as the recovery continues, we will hopefully get a little bit more racing. We should get quite a bit more racing actually. The marshal have done a really good job of the recovery at Redgate. They've got 1 more car now I think to move. There is Joe Edge's car I believe with its door open but now seemingly continuing under its own steam, and I don't think that car sustained too much damage. I actually don't think many of them did. The one that came out the worst of that was unfortunately Shiv Sapra, and it will be interesting to see whether that car can run at any sort of speed upon the resumption of the race. The good news for Sapra is that there doesn't appear now to be too much bodywork that's actually sort of dangling off the car in a manner that would suggest it might fall off. The reason that's a good thing, as they can see Joe Edge continuing and weaving gravel all over the racing line. I'm sure his fellow drivers will thank him for that. The good thing for Sapra then is that he's unlikely to have the black and orange flag waved for him, so that's fortunate. And yeah, hopefully he will therefore not be called into the pit lane to get those repairs made. It's more now whether he feels, or the team feels, that they need to call him in because of a performance-related issue. So, had it confirmed that if Nicholas wins the race, he is champion regardless of where Caudle finishes. So it's quite straightforward between those two. Caudle has to beat Nicholas. If they're running 1 and 2, he has to beat Nicholas in this race. So I do think we're going to see a concerted effort here from Caudle to get past. It's been a weird one with Caudle. His pace has been a bit up and down over the weekend. Nicholas, I would say, has been a little more consistent. Jamie Caudle seems good once he's got some speed, some heat into the tyres. In the early stages of a run, though, he does seem to struggle ever so slightly. And we saw that on the initial start of race 2 this morning and after the safety car restart. But we've now got another safety car restart, and he can't afford to allow James Nicholas to get too far up the road. He has Alex Deaton behind him. Now, Deaton is also a GTA class driver. On your timing tower on the left-hand side of the screen, the black backgrounded numbers, orange numbers, are GTA class drivers. The white backgrounds, they're the rookies. There you can see it, so there are only 3 rookies still running. The more GTA cars get into this lead group, the more chance there is that Caudle could take significant points out of Nicholas. But first, he has to get ahead of him. It's only a 5-point difference between them, though, and it's a 5-point swing between winning a race and finishing second. So if, hypothetically, Caudle were to win and Nicholas was second, they could go into the decider tied on points, which is a tantalising prospect. Don't think we're quite ready to go. No, we've still got some marshals on the track clearing gravel away, I think, at Redgate Corner. After Joe Edge rejoined, there is confirmation it will be a 10-point gap at the moment. But it's only possible, really, for Caudle to outscore Nicholas by, I think it's 7 points in the final race, because Nicholas's highest drop score is 28. The most you can score is 36, so 8 points more Caudle could score than Nicholas. That's the simple maths, basically. Caudle needs to be within 8 points of James Nicholas going into the finale. And at the moment, as it stands, he would be 10 points back, and that's why the championship would provisionally go to last year's Palmer Sports scholarship winner. Joe Edge's car is still dropping ground. Look at that. It's like more akin to a rallycross circuit now up at Redgate, isn't it, than a tarmac racetrack. Joe Edge is the culprit of all of that gravel being dropped, and he's now got another issue, hasn't he? Look, as he weaves around, the door on the right-hand side of the car is flapping open. Now, that will attract the attention of the clerk of the course, I would imagine. Race control may well decide to drag him in to get that sorted. Noticed the door was open, actually, as he was being recovered. I suspect he'd opened it to either get out or chat to the marshals, and now can't maybe get it closed. And you'll notice some of these cars left-hand drive, others right-hand drive. I'm going to hazard a guess that Joe Edge yeah, he'll be sat on the left-hand side. I'm sure I saw some other people on the right-hand side. Maybe it was a trick of the light as they came towards me. But yeah, with the driver sat over on the left, you can't reach when you're strapped into the seat. You can't reach over to the right-hand side to shut the door. So that is why he's not been able to do it. Yes, look, Alex Deaton's car, definitely right-hand drive. So it's interesting. And another one there, Robin Grimwood. So obviously you can pick and choose which side you want to sit on. And right now, Joe Edge is probably wishing that he was sat on the right-hand side of the car. Right, lights out on the safety car anyway. We're going to have just under half of the race still to go. And this is the man who has to make something happen. As far as the championship is concerned, he's got to beat James Nicholas in this race, and James Nicholas has decided to go early. You could tell he was going to do that because he took this really unnaturally wide line through the Melbourne hairpin, and that was so that he could get on the power early, carry speed up the hill, and then look, he's going to come out of Goddard with maybe a 3 or 4 car length advantage. To Caudle's credit, though, he has dropped Alex Deaton at the moment, who is under pressure from Sam Shrimpton. Wonder if the team have been able to let him know what happened to Shiv Sapra. Possibly not. We'll see what pace Shiv has as well as the race goes on. Shrimpton's on his toes already, and he looks to the inside of Alex Deaton, who drifts out wide. He's on that gravel. He's on the dirtier side of the road, and that opens the door for Shrimpton to go through with ease, really. So through goes Shrimpton then into third. And you could hear the gravel pinging off the cars as they went through that Redgate corner that time. So Shrimpton up to third, Deaton down to fourth. It's now Charlie Digby in fifth. I don't really know what's happened to Charlie Digby in this one. Must have been shuffled out in the opening corner. He would have been somewhere around the sideways Shiv Sapra, I suppose. So maybe had to take avoiding action. But Digby, who has been a contender for a race win in both of the races up to this point without actually managing to win one, is going to be a bit disappointed to be down in fifth place. He was, I think, making a move there, though, on Deaton as they went into Coppice corner. Did it work? No. Deaton still ahead. Robin Grimwood running really well there in the sixth position. You're right on board with Caudle. Now, I think it's key here for Caudle that he doesn't let Nicholas get too far away on the first lap or so. I do actually think once he gets some heat into the tyres, he is as quick as Nicholas. You just can't allow James to pull too much of a lead at this stage of the run. And otherwise, it's going to take him too long to catch up. Joe Edge has pitted so that they can make sure that door is secure. He's had a knock, I think, in the door. That's where Shiv Sapra's car collected here. It might have actually damaged the door mechanism itself. Peter Thompson, meanwhile, slips to the inside of Robin Grimwood. Grimwood started ninth, so he was running a little bit further up the order than he might have been expecting as Deaton locks up and runs wide at Goddard's. Can he get back into the inside line to cover from Charlie Digby? The answer is no, but I don't think Digby's going to be able to make that move stick anyway. He's on the wrong side of the road into Redgate, tucks back into the slipstream and tries to carry that momentum to the inside. Deaton having none of it and forces Digby to go the long way around. Into Redgate corner they go then, wide line in for Digby, tight line out, but not that tight because he just didn't have the grip at the apex with all of the dirt on the road. Just couldn't get the car rotated, so settles back in line again. Looks maybe for an opportunity into the old hairpin. He's very wide through the left-hand element of the Craner curves though. And so the order stays unchanged. Jamie Caudle, interestingly, sets the fastest lap of the race. Now, he was only half a tenth quicker than the race leader, James Nicholas, but that was on the restart lap. So if he has been struggling on cold tyres, not evident in this race. He's able to match James Nicholas, but he is 9.5 tenths back. So it was a really good restart from James Nicholas. He pulled that 9 tenths out before they even got to the timing line. And now starting to stretch his legs on this second lap of the run, you would say, because in the first sector he was a couple of tenths quicker than Caudle. There is Caudle. He might have the fastest lap, but I think that's about to change because James Nicholas has done a purple first sector, a purple second sector, in which he was 2 tenths quicker than Caudle. Caudle looked like he had a good run there through the Fogarty S's, maybe clawed back a little bit of that time. 1.3 seconds now, near enough would be the gap, but Caudle does look strong, doesn't he, in this final sector, the tight corners, on the brakes into the hairpins, after that quick change of direction through the Fogarty S's. And I'd say that gap's coming back down again now in the latter part of the lap. It's one of the fascinating things about the Donington Park Grand Prix circuit. It's so fast and flowing for most of the lap until you get to the final sector when it becomes a completely different racetrack and certain drivers are better suited to certain parts of the track. In the end, though, James Nicholas does set the fastest lap. He was actually quicker again than anybody else had been in sector 3, and so the lead gap goes back out now to 1.4 seconds, and James Nicholas will be liking what he is seeing. That is Jamie Caudle's car getting smaller and smaller in his wing mirrors, and the bigger that gap becomes, the less chance there is that Caudle's going to be able to catch him, and the more chance there is that James Nicholas will be provisional champion with a race to spare. Here, meanwhile, is a battle going on between Lucy Hodgson, the green and orange machine, and the number 63 behind of Ben Cook. That is for 9th position at the moment. And there, Shiv Sapra. So Sapra is 13th, that is third still in class. The next rookie is the number 53 car of Ash Young, who's a couple of positions ahead. But Shiv is something like 13, 14 seconds behind that man there that's just gone through shot, Sam Shrimpton. So that's the man he must beat, and I just don't see it happening unless Shrimpton has some sort of issue. But Shrimpton, in fairness, has found some nice clean air to run in. Oh, Charlie Digby very close to the tyre stack at the chicane there. Digby, the only driver inside the top 11 to have lost a position from where he started, and that's because we lost 2 or 3 cars from that sort of lead group early doors. And Digby really would have liked to have gained something out of that, but it's not been able to. Into the brakes into Goddard's goes Alex Deaton, though. They're being caught, aren't they, by Peter Thompson? Yes, they are. Peter Thompson having one of his best weekends of the season so far, and picked a good time to find some form, hasn't he, at the final round. Oops, that's Lucy Hodgson off. Well, we saw her engaging in battle with Ben Cook. I wonder whether that battle got a bit physical at Goddard's hairpin. Hodgson's car pointing the wrong way. Hopefully hasn't stalled. I'm hoping she's just waiting for a gap in the traffic to get going again. Here it is. That is Cook up the inside. Well, no, there wasn't contact. She just locked the rears. Obviously trying to outbrake the car that was coming through on the inside, and locked the rears, and round she went. So Lucy Hodgson has now crossed the line, so she's got the car going again, albeit down in 13th place. Good battle here going on. That is 9th position, is it, that they're battling over? I think it is, with, sorry, 10th position possibly, with Ash Young at the front of the group in number 53, Julian Wantling, and then Shiv Sapra. So Shiv Sapra, third in the rookies. If you could get past the black and blue number 53 car, excuse me, that would be second in class, but that is not enough for the championship. If Sam Shrimpton beats Shiv Sapra in this race, he will be the rookie class champion. Well, after two sensational battles this weekend so far between these two drivers, are we going to be treated to another one in this third race? We need to be if Jamie Caudle's going to have any chance of winning the championship. He's got to get ahead of Nicholas. He has brought the gap down significantly on this lap. In sector 1, 3.5 tenths quicker than the leader, and in sector 2 another tenth or so gained. So he's now starting to bring the gap down, and James Nicholas with a mistake there at the final corner. Sam Shrimpton doing a similar thing in the background, running wide and getting sideways. So the lap time for Nicholas is a 44.0, a 43.2 for Jamie Caudle. 8 tenths gained in one lap alone, and it's a new fastest lap for Caudle too. So maybe it's still game on. They're going to have 2 more laps to go. Can he get there? And if he can he make a move that gets him ahead of his title rival? This is meanwhile the fight for second, in a way, in the rookie class, kind of. Ash Young and Shiv Sapra. Well, they are side by side, in fact, heading into Redgate Corner, but it looks like Young's lost a few positions here, because through has gone Julian Wantling. Now around the outside goes Shiv Sapra as well, except he's on the gravel. He can't get the power down. And so Ash Young gets back alongside. Sapra slams the door in his face. Shiv's just got to hope, hasn't he, in a way, that something happens now to Shrimpton. That might be second in class now for Sapra, but as I've said, that's still not enough. Right, what's Caudle doing? First sector, purple, over a tenth quicker than James Nicholas, and he'll now start to be getting into slipstream range. It's all or nothing now for Caudle. He's got to throw the kitchen sink at this. He has to get within striking range, you feel, by the end of this lap to give himself any opportunity of finding a way through on the final tour. So close to the tyres through the chicane. The middle sector is slower. He's made a mistake in the middle sector, drops about 3 or 4 tenths to Nicholas in sector 2, so he is trying. Is it too little too late? Had we not had the safety car, I wonder whether that might have worked better for Caudle. The longer the race runs, the quicker he seems to get. But that mistake, whatever it was that happened in the middle sector this time, how costly could that prove to be? Through the left-hander at Goddard's, hooks the curb up nicely. Oh, just keeps the rear of the car in check. One of the lap times this time, but it's a much better one for Nicholas, a personal best that almost matched the fastest lap from Caudle the lap ago. And there you go, look, a lap ago, Caudle gained 7.5 tenths. On that lap, he lost 7.5 tenths. So we're back to the same position we were in a lap ago, except now we're on the final lap of the race, and there's 1.9 seconds nearly between the top two. This is Peter Thompson, meanwhile, trying to get onto the class podium. This is for 4th overall, but it's for 3rd in the GTA class. Peter Thompson really looking quicker, actually, than Alex Deaton. Julian Wantling, meanwhile, is up the inside of Phil McGarty's number 81 car and gains 7th position, 6th in class at Redgate Corner. Shiv Sapra behind. To be fair, that car is going remarkably quickly, given the state that it's in. He's done a personal best of a 1:45.5, which is reasonably competitive, given he's in traffic and certainly carrying quite a bit of damage. James Nicholas, though, well, that is how it stands at the moment. James Nicholas would go into the final race 9 points ahead of Jamie Caudle, and it is my understanding that that is enough to wrap up the championship with that race still to go. I think it might be possible for Caudle to still tie with Nicholas, but the tiebreaker would go to James over Jamie because of numbers of wins this season. Caudle's continuing to throw everything at it. It was another purple first sector this time around, but I just don't think he's going to get there. James Nicholas Nicholas came close last year in his debut season of racing. He won the Palmer Sport Scholarship at the end of 2023. That granted him entry into this championship in 2024. He won on debut at the start of the year, but didn't quite manage to claim the championship. That, though, will change in 2025. James Nicholas wins the race, and we believe provisionally that is enough to win the championship too. Jamie Caudle comes home in second, and it is Sam Shrimpton third, and Peter Thompson has got up the inside of Alex Deaton on the run to the line. This could be an absolute photo finish for fourth. It is Thompson by a tenth and a half, according to the timing screen, who gets a podium, and that was also the fight for the Chairman's Cup victory too, so doubly important that for Thompson to get through. What's going on here? This is Shiv Sapra stuck behind Phil McGarty. He's not going to beat Sam Shrimpton in this race, and so Sam Shrimpton is the rookie class champion. And again, all provisional, as we always have to say at this point, but just looking at the maths, it should be enough now for Shrimpton and Nicholas to both be named champions. I don't think we'll see a massive celebration just yet from James Nicholas, because he probably wants somebody with proper access to the points to confirm this for him. But yeah, the information that I had pre-race was that if Nicholas won the race, he was champion regardless of where Jamie Caudle ended up. So second place for Caudle, close but not quite close enough. There is Sam Shrimpton then, provisionally your rookie champion, and he is this year's Palmer Sport Academy winner. So that Palmer Sport Academy has proven to be a great opening into this championship, and it's now yielded 2 champions within the first 2 years that it has existed. So, James Nicholas claims an all-important victory here at Donington Park. That should be enough now to give him the championship title. Jamie Caudle gave it everything but came up short in second. With Sam Shrimpton's third place, another rookie class win, enough to give him the rookie championship with a race to spare. Peter Thompson got ahead of Alex Deaton on the line for fourth. Then it was Robin Grimwood, Julian Watling, Phil McGarty, Shiv Sapra and Ben Cook to complete the top 10, ahead of Ash Young, Lucy Hodgson and Chris Babington. The penultimate race of the season for the Ginetta GT Academy saw James Nicholas and Jamie Caudle in a bit of a winner-takes-all battle. Caudle had to beat James Nicholas to win the to keep the championship hopes alive, and he wasn't able to get ahead of him at the first corner. There was drama behind. Shiv Sapra had a spin and was collected by many other drivers, and that essentially settled the rookie championship in the favour of Sam Shrimpton. Upon the restart, after the inevitable safety car, James Nicholas pulled a 9/10 of a second cushion, whilst behind, Lucy Hodgson had a solo spin heading into the Goddard's hairpin. There was some really good battling in the midfield, though, as Phil McGarty and Ash Young, Julian Watling and the recovering Shiv Sapra all found themselves sharing the same bit of tarmac. Sapra's car was not in showroom condition, but still running at a reasonably strong pace. Julian Watling made a good move up the inside of Phil McGarty. That was for 7th position beginning the final lap of the race, while Shiv Sapra ran wide and opened the door for Ash Young to get back up the inside. Then Julian Watling had another go into Redgate Corner against Phil McGarty, having lost the position last time around, but was able to get through. James Nicholas, though, claimed the race victory, and with it, provisionally, the championship.